You know what? Let me change this clickable weather thing. Yeah, sometimes I'll go between this and I'll go between the others so you all can see me a little better without that clickable banner there. There we go. You can see my whole. No, no, it's still clickable weather, isn't it? Let me try this. There we go. You can all see me a little better now. That's usually, by the way, I did update the clickable. So if you are one of those who like to take a look at our clickable forecast, just kind of get caught up on the weather to go, and on the website as well. I updated that, so we're good to go for the rest of the evening. But we'll just kind of walk you through the forecast here a little bit slower. We're not on 6 o'clock here. We got sports on. We have I don't know what's soccer, I think is what that is that's on. Um, Watching the Lady Buckeyes. They're up against UConn 71-60 with about 3 minutes left to go in the game. Very proud. I thought that we would get trounced by UConn. They're so good, both the men's and the women's, but go Bucks. All right, so let's talk weather. We're not here to talk sports, are we? This today was something else. We had thunderstorms come through today. Some of those had some rotation with them. Thankfully, none of those spawned any tornadoes or what have you. But gusty winds out there. There's some wind damage reports in different places as well. But we'll just kind of walk through the forecast here since we're not on at 6. We can at least get you caught up if you're here on Facebook. So tomorrow's going to be great. Tomorrow's seasonable for this time of year, 50 degrees, partly cloudy skies. So tomorrow we're right on the money for tomorrow. So we're good. Monday, we're a little bit cooler. Mid 40s, a few scattered showers come in here. Monday night might get a few lake effect snow showers, shouldn't amount to much at this point in the snow belt. And then next week, much of next week, we have cool temperatures in the 40s, but we're dry. We got some sunshine as we head into much of next week. And then next weekend, we warm back up. But then we got some rain showers in there. But there's some positives to take away in this 8-day forecast. Where you see it. All right, so high wind warning for those counties in the dark yellow that you see there, and that's wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, and that's until midnight tonight. The other counties, the Columbiana, Carroll, Tuscaroras counties, they have a wind advisory, and that's 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that's until 11 o'clock tonight. So just for ease's sake, instead of putting all of these maps and things up and flipping back and forth and that kind of, just know that we have the potential for really gusty winds until about midnight tonight. As a matter of fact, I was looking at, so if you may or may not know, so my former TV market that I was in before here was Dayton. And so I was looking on Twitter. One of the meteorologists at my former station there had posted, at least in the Miami Valley alone, that area of Ohio called the Miami Valley, a lot of power outages, about 28,000 power outages in that area in the Miami Valley. The county that Dayton is in, Montgomery County, about 16,000 power outages there. So I'm not trying to make this a Miami Valley forecast, but what I'm saying is just to goes to show that even here in northern and northeast Ohio, we have the same wind gusts, and so there are some power outages across the area, as well as some wind damage too. So just a heads up that even though you may not see any in your area, your neck of the woods, just know that there is some impacts across northern and northeast Ohio. It's because of that area of low pressure right there, moving just to the north of us into Michigan. But we get the frontal boundary with that. And so whenever you get a low pressure move by, you got a difference in pressure, so it's gusty winds, and then you also got some uplift. It's a low pressure because it forces the air to rise, so it takes the pressure off of us. So anytime we talk about pressure, it's related to us here at the surface. So high pressure, sinking air, you're putting more air on us, so that means you can't get anything to rise and form, like clouds and showers and storms and what have you, because the air is coming the opposite direction. It's pushing down. Good meteorology 101 right there for you. So anytime you have that moving by, you have a difference in pressure, so you got some winds there. But some are stronger than others, and this one is pretty strong with those gusty winds. So here's the satellite and radar. So we are drying out. We still got mostly cloudy skies, but what you'll start to notice as this low pulls away, that we've got some breaks in the cloud cover. And so we've got some gradual clearing as we go through the evening. Look at this. So 41 in Toledo, 43 in Findlay. So you see where the infiltration of the frontal boundary is starting to take shape. 45 in Cleveland, down to Akron and Canton, 53. 58 near 60 down in the New Philly, still in the mid-50s in Ashtabula and Youngstown. So you see the southwest, northeast orientation of this frontal boundary and where the cooler air is starting to infiltrate. Winds are coming in out of the west. Look at these. These are just the sustained winds. 40 miles an hour at Burke, 33 in Cleveland, Akron at 30-mile-an-hour winds, 25-mile-an-hour winds in Mount Vernon, Mansfield 28 miles. So these are some really gusty winds, and then the gusts are even stronger. So a 51-mile-an-hour gust. Now these gusts are within the last few minutes here. So 51-mile-an-hour gusts in Cleveland, and these are down because I saw some 50s in Lorraine and Worcester and Akron, Canton earlier today. About maybe an hour or so ago. So this right here, this really tells the story. We had a sharp cutoff there, the wind chill. Now, we don't take wind chill when temperatures are in the 50s, but 35 is what it feels like in Cleveland, 36 in Mansfield, 41 in Worcester, and then right there, 53 in Akron, Canton, 58 into New Philadelphia. So the colder air is coming in. And so if you were with us yesterday, I said, don't step outside in the morning here or in the early afternoon when we're in the 60s and say, hey, it's going to be a pretty nice day. If I got somewhere to go this evening, I'll just dress light. Like, no, because this front's coming through and temperatures are going to be much cooler by the time we head towards the evening time, and that's the case. That's not rain right there. I'm not a fan of this particular graphic because that's wind, and so that's supposed to be blowing wind, but it looks like rain. But it's going to be windy still until about midnight. Temperatures in the 40s. Wind chills though are in the 30s and then 20s by 10 o'clock and into the overnight hours, because the winds will subside as we go through the overnight, but it'll still be pretty cool. Here's the high temperatures. 51 is our average for this time of year. So, tomorrow it's seasonal still, 1 degree. What's the difference between friends of 1 degree? So we've got not only 50 tomorrow, but we get cooler as we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's a cooler week next week, but then we go above average by next Friday and into next weekend when our next system comes in. That's also our next best chance for rain. So we got dry conditions tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny. Cloudy with scattered showers on Monday, dry, partly cloudy for Tuesday, partly to mostly cloudy for Wednesday with an evening system that comes in, gives us a rain-snow mix, and then Thursday we're dry again, partly cloudy skies. So here are the wind gusts. So we're still pretty gusty as we head into the 9 o'clock hour. Gusts aren't as high as the 50. We've come down a little bit, 40, maybe 45 miles an hour, and then notice it tapers overnight. So first thing in the morning, we've just got breezy conditions tomorrow with gusts up to about maybe 15 miles an hour or so. So we're doing much better for ourselves. And they're the clearing skies as we head into the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow. And then the clouds come back in as we head into Monday. There's Monday morning, Monday afternoon, we see scattered showers. There's Monday afternoon where on the back end of that, a few flurries, snow showers in the snow belt there going on. So, and then we dry out by Monday evening. Some clearing skies, partial clearing skies, partly cloudy. So 34, gradually clearing skies, breezy, chilly tonight. Seasonable, that's where we should be this time of year. And then 50 degrees for us tomorrow. Again, sunshine, mild, not as breezy, not as gusty, seasonable for this time of year. My attention was diverted just a little bit. The Ohio State women's team just beat UConn. They're advancing to the Elite Eight. I don't think that's happened since like 2005 or 2007 or what have you. So that's very good. All right, back to the task at hand. Let me focus back on the forecast here. So what I'm saying is for the 8-day forecast, there's some good news here. So even though we have cool temperatures next week, at least we're dry, and at least we get some sunshine for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Thursday's not bad, even though it's cool at 49. And by the time we get to Thursday, I think our average will be about maybe 52. So, only 3 degrees below average, still in the wheelhouse there. Overnight lows, all of those are in the 30s and 40s. So at least we're not seeing the 20s for overnight lows. So we're going in the right direction And then there's that next system that comes in late next week into the weekend for Friday and Saturday that brings us rain showers, 62 on Friday, 57 on Saturday. Now, if this holds, this will be good. 60 degrees next Sunday and partly cloudy. Don't bank on it. It is 7 days away, or 8 days away. So I would not bank on that holding with 60 and partly cloudy. But if it does, that will be fantastic. But again, so some good takeaways there in the 8-day forecast. So we're starting to be a little drier than initially thought maybe a day or two ago. Sometimes, as we get a little closer to the days that our weather models get a better handle on what's going to happen, and we get a better handle on what the systems are doing and what have you. So right now, the good takeaway is we're in a starting to turn the tide a little bit. The winds are still gusty. You still may have some sporadic power outages through the course of the evening, but the winds will slowly start to subside, especially as we get into the overnight hours. Tomorrow's going to be great. Probably a good day. If you're an outside person, if you like being outdoors, maybe going to the metro parks or any parks in your area or what have you, tomorrow's a good day to do that. If you like taking a walk or taking a run or riding your bike or what have you, tomorrow's a good day to do that. Go back to work and school on Monday. Well, it's going to be a Monday. Clouds and showers around, a little cooler. But the bulk of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, cooler but sunshine in the forecast. All right, so I will see you at 10 o'clock. We do have a 10 o'clock, so if you're going to tune in to us there, we will see you then. All right, have a great night, everybody.